How do you see all a public sale in which goods or property are sold to the highest price offered? Auction.
What natural resource is used in paper industry? Wood. What's the 26th alphabet in English? Z.
What is the month between January and March? February.
What is the term used for a person who cannot read or write? Illiterate.
What is the job title of someone who designs buildings? Architect.
What do we see all the area where the sea and the land meet? Coast. Coastline.
What do you see all the organ in your chest that keeps pumping? Heart.
What do you see all a place where you can take trains? Railway station.
What is the other name for religious study? Theology.
What do you see all a meeting that is held regularly in an organization? Standing meeting, regular meeting, routine meeting. What's the top floor of an apartment building? Penthouse.
What do we see all a vehicle equipped for carrying the injured or sick? Ambulance.
What is the shape of the Earth's orbit? Oval. Ellipse.
What is the opposite of white? Black.
Where does a king or a queen live? Palace.
How many wheels does the tricycle have? 3. 3.
What is the altitude related to weight or height? Height.
What is the term used for a professional who practices law? Lawyer.
If a person is not telling the truth, then what is he or she telling? Lie.
How often does a biennial convention take place? Every 2 years.
What is the force that draws objects toward a planet's center? Gravity.
Which sense is related to your ears? Hearing.
What do we see? All a photo of a person's face taken from the side. Profile.
What do you use to light a stove? Igniter, lighter, match.
A co-worker in the same institution is a colleague or a peer. Colleague.
What do you see all a piece of soft paper or towel you fasten around a baby's bottom? Diaper. What do we watch with a screen and a projector? Film. Movie.
What kind of soup utensils do you use at table? Spoons.
What do you stir in the milk to make a cake? Flour. What do you see all the hard objects in your mouth for eating food? Teeth.
What do we see? All a person who has recovered recently from illness. Convalescent. What's the season after winter and before summer? Spring.
There are several customers and a waiter pointing at the menu. What are they doing? Order. Ordering. How do you see all a place where trains or buses regularly stop so that passengers can get on and off? Station.
What do we see all a document sent by email? Attachment. If ears are for hearing, what are for seeing? Eyes.
Where do tourists ride a bus? Bus stops. Bus stations. What do we see all a person undergoing illness? Patient.
What term is used to describe a person who rides waves on a special board in the ocean? Surfer.
What is the activity of inhaling tobacco substances? Smoking.
What do we see all a reward paid to an employee at the end of the year? Year-end bonus.
What do we see all a person who is registered for the election? Candidate.
What are the animals that have fins? Fish? What is the political system in which a country is ruled by a king or a queen? Monarchy.
What do you see all the case you use to carry documents? Briefcase. Portfolio. What kind of food do almonds, pistachios, and walnuts fall into? Nut. What is the color of the medal that an athlete at the third place gets in the Olympics? Bronze.
What is the term used for see-through items such as clear glass? Transparent.
What do we see? All a 12-month accounting period used by governments, companies and organizations for financial reporting and budgeting purposes. Fiscal year.
What is the subject to study the past events? History.
What do we see all a person who tells lies? Liar.
What do you see all the curve of a road or a river? Bend.
What is the opposite of the word import? Export.
What is the hair called that grows on the skin of a sheep? Wool.
What do we see all the different forms of money that a country uses? Currency.
What do we see all a river falling from a mountain? Waterfall.
What do you see all a person sitting beside you? Seatmate. Neighbor.
What do we see all the salary regularly received by a retiree? pension.
What do we see all a member of the same team or group? Teammate, colleague. What shines at night in the sky and uses its own brightness? Star.
What is the legal document protecting someone's intellectual property? Patent.
Which one word is used for a brother or sister? Sibling,
What shows dishes before you order? Menu.
What is typically deposited in a bank? Money, savings, checks.
What's the name of the company that produce books? Publisher, publishing house, press.
from where can you have a full view of a building, the outside, inside, or top? Outside.
What category do the bee, the butterfly, and the mosquito fall into? Insect, insects.
How many sides does an octagon have? 8.
What is the process of breaking down plastic and glass and using it again? Recycling.
What's the gray thing in the sky when it's about to rain? Cloud.
What do we see all the long orange thing that grows underground? Carrot. What do we see all the party in power? Ruling party. Ears are for hearing. What are eyes for? Vision.
Which word is to describe a bad dream? Nightmare.
What part of the body propels a flying bird in the air? Wing. What do we see all a man who is getting married? Groom, bridegroom.
What is the connecting part between two bones? Joint.
What special document do most people need to carry when they travel between countries? Passport.
How do butterflies fly? Flutter.
Which color do we make by blending black and white? Gray.
How many eggs are there in a dozen? 12.
Which literary genre describes all details of a famous person's life? Biography, autobiography.
What is the place you share bedroom with your classmates? Dormitory.
Which part of our bodies do we use nasal spray in? Nose, nostril.
What do you see all the buildings of a university or college and the land around them? Campus.
What is the act of reusing waste materials? Recycling.
If a building is 1,000 meters high, from where do we measure the height? Sea level.
What do we see all the treatment in which people use needles to ease others' pain? Acupuncture.
What is the opposite direction of sunrise? West.
How do you describe a line that segments a circle? Chord.
How many years are there in a century? 100. What do people usually use to cut food in the plate? Knife.
We see all a person used to using the right hand or right-hander. And what do we see all a person if the left hand? Left-hander.
What do we see all buying and transporting goods from another country? Import.
What do we see all the line between a sunset and the sea? Sea skyline. Horizon.
What do you see all your cousin's father? Uncle. What is the opposite of horizontal? Vertical.
What do we see? All a horse-like animal with a single horn on the head. Unicorn.
Who is the person who shares the same room with you? Roommate.
What is the verb that means employing someone or renting something? Hire. Hiring.
What do we see all the water flowing down the cliff? Waterfall.
What do we see all a group of mountains such as the Himalayas? Range.
What is the name of male sheep? Ram.
Which part of our body does a gastroscope look into? Stomach.
What do we use to launch a space shuttle? Rocket. Booster. What is the opposite meaning of objective? Subjective.
Who is a person who gives evidence in court? Witness.
What do we see all a set of answers to exercises or problems? Key. What do we see all the document in which a political party announces their plans before elections? Manifesto. What do you see all a person who lives next to your house? Neighbor.
What do we see all an experienced person who advises and helps less experienced people? Mentor.
What do we see all a person who does a job without being paid? Volunteer.
What object do we open a window or a door by? Handle.
What do you see all the brother of your father or mother? Uncle.
What is the nominal form of the wide? Width.
What do you see all a picture or design permanently on your skin made with a needle and ink? Tattoo.
What subject involves the study of the periodic table? Chemistry.
What do we see? All the legal document that states how people's property should be allocated after their deaths. Testament. Will.
What is the ceremony where two people get married? Wedding.
What gas will be formed from the boiling water? Water vapor.
What clothing do people wear, such as students or nurses, to show that they belong to the same organization? Uniform.
What does subterranean mean? Underground. What do people hold overhead when it is raining? Umbrella.
What are buses, trains, and cars used for? Travel, transport, transportation.
What do you see all people who travel to visit famous sightseeing locations? Tourists.
What are the people who study religions? Theologians. Theologists.
What animal is a shepherd responsible for? Sheep. How many days are there in a week? 7. 7.
What is the section in the library called, where you can only read but cannot bring the books out of the library? Reserve collection. What is the opposite of the word public, for example, when describing an event? Private.
If an event happens annually, how often does it happen? Once a year.
Where in the campus are the periodical collections located? Library. In what room do scientists usually do experiments? Laboratory. What is the line where the sky meets the land? Horizon. Skyline.
If you are celebrating a biannual activity, how many years ago did you celebrate it last time? Half a year. How many quarters are there in a calendar year? 4. 4.
What is the boat that carries people from one side of a river to the other? Ferry. What does a thermometer measure? Body temperature. Temperature.
What do you see all the son of your sister or brother? Nephew.
If a couple has a pair of children, how many children do they have? Two. Two.
What do you see all a difficult time when economic activities slow down and there are more people unemployed? Recession.
What device do you use to type when you use a computer? Keyboard.
Apart from coffee and hot chocolate, what beverages also contain caffeine? Tea. Coke. Cocoa.
Which continent do China, India, Korea, and Japan locate in? Asia.
When a person's blood alcohol content is higher than the standard range, what activity are they not allowed to do? Driving.
What would you see all a Doctor Who treats sick animals? Vet, veterinarian.
What is the occupation that transfers one language to another language? Translator.
What device is used to measure the height of mountains? Altimeter.
What does the color green help for? Sight, eyesight.
In the word postgraduate, what does post mean? After.
What is the description of events that is spoken with background music during a film or a play? Narration. How do you see all the condition of being unable to sleep? Insomnia.
What is the term used to describe a period of 7 days? Week.
What is the list that shows the names of actors and actresses in a movie? Cast.
What do we see all people who write songs? Composers.
What do we see? All a mass of snow, ice and rock that falls down the side of a mountain. Avalanche.
What do we see? All the extra performance that actors give. Encore.
How do you see all someone with no hair? But
When you have the primary, the secondary, what do you have next? Tertiary.
How many wheels does a bicycle have? 2. 2.
Which one is the odd one out among dog, cat, horse, and shoes? Shoes.
Which one in the 4 seasons has the lowest temperature? Winter. How do you describe an event that is held every 2 years? Biennial. How many years does a millennium have? 1000.
What do we see? All the ship that runs underwater. Submarine.
what is the opposite of division in mathematics? Multiplication.
What is the name of the student who has not completed his course? Undergraduate student.
How do we see all the car that uses 2 types of fuels? Hybrid. Hybrid car. Hybrid cars.
What force makes humans stay on the Earth? Gravity.
What do we see? All the northernmost and southernmost parts of the earth. Pole. Poles.
What do you throw underwater to keep ships staying on rivers or oceans without drifting away? Anchor.
What is the joint called where your hand is connected to your arm? Wrist. Wrists.
What is the colorful sticker that is attached to an envelope? Stamp.
What is the word for a period of 100 years? Century.
What is the word in geometry for a shape that has three sides? Triangle.
If a figure is hexagonal, how many sides does it have? Six.
What device is used to take photographs? A camera. Camera.
What is the opposite of exporting? Importing.
What material are windows made of? Glass.
What do birds use to fly? Wings.
What are the two holes in your nose to breathe? Nostrils.
Where do people go for watching sports or games? Stadium.
What is the music that is recorded for a movie or a film? Soundtrack.
What is the antonym of vertical? Horizontal.
What are the people who study history and historical evidence? Historian.
What is the opposite of positive? Negative.
In a hospital, who is the person that can write prescriptions? Doctor.
In which direction does the sun arise from? East.
How many sides does a pentagon have? 5. 5.
Which of the following is not a means of transportation? By plane, by public transport, or car model? Car model?
What are the people who study ancient bones or plants in rocks? Paleontologists. Paleontologist. What device do you use to measure your weight? Scale. Weighing scale.
What is the opposite to the word artificial? Natural.
What can bring astronauts to space? Spacecraft.
What are the strings on shoes called? Shoelace.
What do you see all the strap that circulates a person in a car or an aeroplane? Seatbelt.
What do we see all a festival, which is held every 4 years, gathering people together as a sporting event? Olympics. Olympic Games.
How do you see all the diagram, which includes a horizontal line called x-axis and a vertical line called y-axis? Coordinate system.
What do you see all a list in front of a book which outlines the structure of a book? Table of contents. What do we see all the animals with white ivory and long trunk? Elephant. Elephants.
How do you see all a Doctor Who can sell prescribed medicines in a hospital? Chemist. Pharmacist.
How do you see all the people who work for a company? Employees.
What does a sundial measure? Time.
Which kind of mountain can erupt lava? Volcano. Volcanoes.
What do we see all the thread in the center of the candle? Wick.
How do you see all the two siblings born by a mother at the same time? Twins.
What is the second month of the year? February.
Who serves food in a restaurant? Waiter. Waitress.
Which symbol is used to complete a sentence? Full stop. Period.
What do you see all? The very long essay that students have to write for a doctoral degree. Thesis. Dissertation.
What do we see all the date that a piece of work must be finished by? Deadline?
Who is the person that makes bread, cakes, and pastries? Baker.
What kind of book is written by a person about their own life? Autobiography.
What is it called when two or more people are speaking to each other? conversation, chat.
What is the job of someone that looks after your teeth and gums? Dentist, surgeon dentist.
When we are talking about spring, summer, autumn, and winter, what are they the examples of? Seasons.
The opposite of negative is called positive.
What do we see all it when the moon completely blocks out the light from the sun? Solar eclipse. Would letter or email be the fastest way to get a message to your professor? Email. Email.
Would a supermarket or cafe or a bookstore probably have the widest range of products available? Supermarket.
In which room of that home would someone usually wash their clothes? Bathroom. In the laundry room. Laundry room.
What do we see all a period of 10 years? Decade.
What is the red liquid that flows through a body? Blood.
Where is a criminal kept as punishment? Prison. Jail.
Which instrument is used to measure variations in temperature? Thermometer.
What organ controls your speech, feelings, body movement, and thoughts? Brain.
In which century did the automobile become manufactured on a mass scale? 20th century.